Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me live tonight. How is everyone doing? So, tonight we are talking about the silent burnout in healthcare and immigrant families. So, that is the main topic for today. In my Go Live, I am being seen like everywhere. So, burnout is real, especially in healthcare and especially with immigrant nurses or healthcare professionals. Sometimes it's silent, sometimes it's not even talked about. Nobody says anything, but it is happening. So I just wanted to dive into it and talk about it just a little bit to create some kind of awareness with our immigrant families. So my name is Adama. I am a registered nurse and I am a global digital business owner. So burnout doesn't always have to look like quitting or crying. It often looks like you're doing your job well, but you're just like still feeling empty. There is this constant responsibility that is just like piling in front of you, getting um taking all the toll on you. You're doing your job well, but you constantly like feel that responsibility with work and family. You're always being the strong one, right? um and some burnouts are also loud, but some burnouts are equally silent with healthcare workers. Anybody who works, who is a care worker, healthcare worker, would feel like talk about it. Sometimes it's noticeable, sometimes people don't really know that they are actually like feeling burnt out. But maybe when you pay attention to maybe how you react to things, how you relate to things, how you feel, you will know like, okay, so this is not the normal you, that this is different from who you truly are in real person. Like if everything is equal, that you would maybe reason differently, react differently, say things differently, or just feel um, differently. But as healthcare workers and immigrants, for that, you are always being the strong one. So, and like I said, some burnout are loud and some are very silent. And many healthcare workers, especially immigrant healthcare workers, these are the kind of responsibilities, or not really burden, but just some kind of burdens they carry, right? So when you start like feeling emotionally exhausted, you are exhausted, constantly exhausted, but you're not like without collapsing, but you are almost like feeling like you'll be collapsing. You don't know what to make of it. You don't know, you can't pinpoint it. You don't know what to actually call it. Sometimes you're like trying to smile through fatigue. You are feeling fatigued, you're tired, you're exhausted, you've like overspent yourself, but you are just trying to be that brave one, trying to stay strong, trying to stay positive, and smiling through it. Sometimes you are just like being that dependable person, but already within you, you are feeling depleted. We see that happen so many times, working overtime, working long shifts, working like in inclement weather, working when the situations are not just super great, even for you, long commutes and all of that, dealing with caring for people, dealing with colleagues and different expectations, and at the same time trying to function in your own home. So sometimes you're just like functioning, but you are not feeling like deep down feeling fulfilled. You just show up, you provide, but you're tired in a way that even sleep cannot fix. That is silent burnout. And it's very rampant. It's happening every single time, not just to immigrant families, but that's my focus. Moms, healthcare professionals, especially immigrant healthcare professionals. And why do healthcare workers experience burnout? They experience burnout for different reasons. They are caring for people, they are caring for others, they are constantly caring for people, for patients, especially in their weakest times, in when they are vulnerable, when they are sick, nursing them and caring for them back to health. Most healthcare workers have families, so they are actually still the strong ones caring for their families. Another reason why healthcare workers experience burnout is because of high emotional labor. We, like I said, taking care of sick people, watching people who ordinarily may be looking frail, they can't even care for themselves. Sometimes they're not even aware of where they are or who they are. So that takes some kind of emotional labor, emotional toil on the healthcare worker. And most healthcare workers, they work shifts and they work overtime. So shift is, normal thing we do. Most healthcare workers are not just like regular 9 to 5 employees. They work shifts, day shift, evening shift, night shift, in between shifts. Me, for example, I work night shift. So when I say exhaustion, when I say fatigue, when I say burnout, all of that, these are the things I experience myself. Likewise, many other healthcare workers. So another reason healthcare workers are burnt out or feel burnt out, silent burnout, is because of the pressure to be compassionate, even when exhausted. Caring is like, for you to be a good carer, like you have to be compassionate, you have to be, even feel for the patient, even feel for depending on where you work. When you work at the hospital, you think of them as patients. When you work in home care, you think of them maybe as service users or clients or just any different names. So because of that, you have this pressure to be compassionate even though you are exhausted, but you have to put on that brave face. You have to put on that caring, compassionate demeanor even though you are feeling exhausted. Another reason healthcare professionals, or most healthcare professionals, feel burnt out is because of that that feeling of being replaceable in a system, right? In as much as you're putting in your best foot forward, you're putting your best, you think you're doing your best, but at the same time, you are scared of making mistakes. You are scared of just things not going perfectly well. And it doesn't matter, no matter, even if you work so hard, do every single thing, any little mistake can get you replaced. So no employee is irreplaceable. At least we are all aware of that, because as long as it's not your job, like your personal job, as long as it's not your own, you are replaceable. So healthcare workers are trained to care, but not always to pause. And any healthcare worker can tell you that sometimes you can go through shifts without truly having time for yourself. You can go hours without maybe using the bathroom or even remembering to drink water or to just do some kind of self-care. So generally, healthcare workers are trained to care for others, but not always to pause and maybe care for themselves or just pay attention to their own body or their own needs. And today we are talking about burnout in healthcare workers and immigrant families. So why are most immigrant families experience burnout? Why do healthcare workers and their families, immigrant families, why do they experience burnout? They feel burnout because of the responsibility to succeed. They feel like the healthcare worker at the home feels like, that burden feels that it lies on them to succeed. They need to succeed because for nurses, for example, or even any healthcare profession, it takes a lot to be licensed. It takes a lot to be a healthcare professional. So they find that burden. They feel that responsibility to succeed. Another reason for immigrant families experience burnout as well is because of that pressure or responsibility to support family back home. Most immigrants still have like some immediate and extended families back in their home countries. Because of that, so most people look up to them to provide. Most people look up to them, or most families and friends look up to them for support, for financial support, for help, for different reasons. So because of that, the person who is here in the abroad, for example, has that burden, has that responsibility to support the immediate and extended families back home. And there is this pressure to make it worth it, right? You are working, you are just trying to make it okay. So you are a nurse, you're a pharmacist, you are this, you're that, you're a doctor. You have to you have that constant zeal to make it worth it, to make it look like, I'm a nurse. This, being a nurse is, worth it. Even when you are drowning, even when you are feeling so drained, even when you are feeling so exhausted. Another reason why immigrant families feel that burnout is the gratitude that's usually mixed with exhaustion. So you are grateful to be where you are. You are grateful to have what you have. You are grateful to just have the job, earn what you earn, and all of that. But at the same time, mixing it up with just exhaustion. So everybody around you feels it, feels the burnout. The family, within you in the abroad, in the diaspora, they are as well, feeling the burnout. They are as well feeling you not being able to sleep well, not being able to do the things you love to do, not being that cheerful, happy, exciting you, because you feel burnt out. But it's almost like sometimes you feel helpless, you don't know what to do. And that is why I am here, just to show that there are options. The options are not just for you to quit, no, but it's just to know you don't have to full 100% depend on overtime or double time or multiple jobs for you to keep just going. Because when you're able to spread yourself, do different things, then it helps you to maybe regain your strength, be able to have that time for self-care and all of that. Another reason most families or immigrant families, they experience burnout is because there is no room to fail, no room for failure at all. We come here, we are trained generally to just be hardworking, be appreciative. You have so many people looking up to you. You have so many people depending on you. So in that way, there is no room at all for failure. You have to keep going. You have to keep, making it worth it. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep doing what you can do and what you have to do to provide, because you're providing for so many people. So when you come from sacrifice, rest sometimes can be so undeserved. You would just feel rest is on the why are you resting? There is just so much money to be made. you have money to go and make. So like, why would you be resting while pounds is still sitting out there, dollars, euro, like name any currency wherever you are. So because of that, you feel like resting is just that. When you're resting, then the money is sitting out there. So you have to, keep going. So, and you've come from a place of not having so much. And that's why most people show up, like leave their countries for greener pasture. So you feel like, rest is not part of it, that you're here to make it, you're here to hustle, you're here to provide. So, me as a healthcare worker, I have experienced, burnout several times. Like I said, I work night shift, right? So working night shift and having a young family, coming home and having to sleep just for a few hours. And the body is naturally made to relax and rest at night. But as someone who works night shift, that is the time I am active. That is the time I am awake. That is the time I am functioning, caring for people. By the time I get home, sometimes even if you sleep or lay in bed for hours, you find out that you're not getting that quality rest. You're not getting that quality sleep. You're not getting that. You are not feeling that rejuvenated, because your body is just so tired, so fatigued, so worn out. So you just like, okay, try your best like not to fall apart, and you keep feeling so drained, even though you're trying to get some rest. You're doing everything right, but you're still feeling tired. So all of those things are, the signs to know you are feeling burnt out. Because like I said, burnout can be silent and sometimes it's loud. But when you feel like that you're falling apart and you're feeling like, drained, and you're doing everything right, but you're still feeling tired, then that's the sign. So when I was just like having all those experiences, I knew I was falling apart, right? And I knew I was just like, slowly emptying. But that was when I had that, like, I said, there has to be something else out there. Like, I can't just like keep spending myself. I need to look for options. I need to create options. I need to create, some kind of lasting option, something in my name, something legitimate, something tax registered, something that I can call my own, something that will just be different from regular, caring for other people, something that would just, that wouldn't take like so much toll on me. So, burnout is often, part, well, how will I even say it? So, burnout is sometimes, structural, right? So, because of how people like, work shifts, there's sometimes your working shifts that doesn't just like align with your body system. Some people are not like, okay, day people or morning people. You have to wake up super early in the morning so that you can make it to work. And you see people just like, waking up grudgingly and feeling grumpy. So be aware, like, burnout is not a personal failure. You are doing what you're doing, but it's just part of you being a human being, you falling apart, you feeling empty, you feeling drained. But that doesn't make you like you are failing. That's not failure at all. So, and working hard doesn't really fix any exhaustion. You are exhausted, you're exhausted. So even taking just like a few times off is not enough. sometimes the way to fix burnout is to try it, at least, realize that you're feeling burnt out. So that awareness, being fully aware that, okay, this is not the normal you. And at the same time, being fully aware of it, taking action, doing something different, thinking like, exploring ways to make it, because this, stores in your body if you don't take any action about it. And that is why when you get to that age of maybe retiring, most people don't have that great health or strength to enjoy their retirement, because they have allowed the body, like all the stress, all the drain and all of that, to store in their system or like in their body. And at some point in life, it comes back. That's the reality of it. So burnout is actually often like a sign that you've been strong for too long. So like it's time to take a break. It's time to reflect. It's time to think about yourself, about your future, because you can't keep going this way. It's time to do something different. So I am here to create this awareness. I am here to share with my fellow moms, with my fellow healthcare professionals, with my fellow immigrants, that you have to create options. We have to create multiple income streams. Relying on one income stream, that's what, it's part of what creates or causes exhaustion. Because you are like, okay, you have to make it, you have to do it. Then you find yourself constantly going back to the same, grinding that is causing the exhaustion. But when you are able to expand your options, when you are able to build other options, reliable options, legitimate options, then it eases off, that exhaustion. It helps to ease off the whole stress. So we need to build options. We need to build other income streams. We need to do something just different from what we are doing originally. So not like quitting, but creating other options, making choices, creating choices, which is creating multiple income streams, because that helps to diffuse, the whole exhaustion of going to the same place, the same system, doing the same thing over and over again. That's not creating, helping us to have that, some kind of balance, work-life balance. That's not helping us to create some kind of flexibility. We need to reduce the overtime we do at work. We need to reduce this whole idea of working 2-3 jobs. We need to find something different. Like I keep saying, expand our options, do something different. So we need to establish a business. I'm saying business because that's what I am doing, right? That helps or that pours into us. Create something, start something, build options that pours into us, and not something that just, pulls everything from us. So the goal, like I keep saying, isn't for you to quit your job, but it's to stop draining yourself completely. And that's when you create options so that you can just focus on something different that is bringing you money. Because at the end of the day, it's just like money that is causing the exhaustion. When you think of the piling bills, when you think of the people who are depending on you, immediate and extended and friends and and people from Africa, we know how it is. We extend to 4th generation, 5th generation. You have your 5th cousin, 6th cousin, and all of that. So my brother, my sister, my fellow immigrants, my fellow moms and healthcare professionals, this is 2026 and this is January. This is a time to think deep, reflect, and say, okay, you have been working for all these years. You have tried all of this. You have tried to work so hard. You have tried to work multiple jobs, but the ringtone is still the same. It is time to do something different, away from what you have tried in the past. It is time to build options. It is time to create something that aligns with who you are and what you, and not just only who you are, but who you are becoming and who you want to become. It is time to look into something that is not like, okay, that's untraditional. So online is not, it's new in a way that most people who are in their millennials, this is not like, their forte. But at the same time, this is where life is now. This is where businesses are heading. This is where people are making their, means of livelihood. So it is time to explore this option online. And when you see something that is legitimate, when you see something that's tax registered, when you see a business people have been doing for years and getting their tax returns and tax forms, that is the time you should be like, okay, this I want to explore. Because if it is anything scam, you wouldn't see people doing it for years. I, for one, I have been doing this business for over 2.5 years, consistently every single day, and finding joy in it, finding success in it, finding blessings in it. So anyone questioning, oh, is this legitimate? How does this work? If it is not legitimate, I wouldn't be doing it for the past 2.5 years. There are people who have been doing this business for the past 10 years, 16 years, 15 years, 20 years, and they're not looking back. So if it is not something sustainable, if it is not legitimate, I don't think you would see the same person doing the same business. You wouldn't see people maybe quitting even what originally was their plan A and now focusing on their plan B. So in this January, in this 2026, give yourself this gift of a business. Try to explore this option. See if it is the right fit for you. I am not saying this is going to be the perfect fit for you. I am not saying this is the right fit for every single person. No. This is not meant for everyone. This is not the right fit for everyone. But you wouldn't know if it was for you until you explore it, until you try it out. So, and you ask yourself, okay, so what could be the, possible, what can you lose out of just checking it out? I am doing nothing with your information. It's just for you to get more information, to get the access link to watch a webinar, which is free, which you can access from your phone, which you can watch at any time. And now get the information, just sharing information, getting clarity, checking out if this is the right fit for you, if this is what you can actually do. I have seen people reaching out to me, they already have businesses, but they don't have that support network. They don't have the support system. Some people are struggling. Oh, how do you create Canva? How do you use AI? How do you do this? How do you use all these different platforms? But these are the kind of information, these are the kind of skills and knowledge that you get free from our business community. Some people are like, oh, how do I even build a website? How do I build a sales funnel? They already have a business or businesses. But because they are doing it alone, they don't have that support. They don't have accountability partners. They don't have people who already are experts in the field, who are already experienced. And to get this kind of experts, to get coaches, like someone coaching you, I have heard people paying so much money to get coaches, and the coaches they get is just only for within few months. I am seeing people on social media asking, oh, what can I do? How do I find someone to help me do all of this? That they need mentorship, they need coaching, and all of that. But these are the kind of resources you get free of charge just by being a member of our digital business and a member of our global community. So if this resonates with you, if you're seeking for options, if you're seeking for just other ways to earn legitimately, meaningfully from social media, just DM me or chat me up, or just in the comment section write ready or anything and show like interest, and we'll take it from there. Thank you for your time. I will see you again next time. I didn't want it to stay up to 30 minutes, but here we are. That's how fun it is to talk about this business. See you again tomorrow. Good night. Bye.